I mean, clearly someone doesn't know what time it is.
What an absolute joke of a boss we've got.
What the hell is he doing?
I mean, seriously, call himself That Watch Guy London and doesn't even turn up to his own show.
Doesn't even turn up.
Kaylee, scoot up into the boss's chair tonight.
I'm
Come
going to
on.
have to because, no, the boss isn't here.
Well, everybody, welcome to Monday night. Well, welcome everybody except for Spencer Dryer, That Watch Guy London, because Spencer Dryer has decided to make himself unavailable this evening. In fact, Spencer has taken himself off for the weekend and then become ill whilst abroad.
Yes.
And sadly cannot fly home because he's supposed to be flying back with me on Thursday.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Spencer, if you're watching, I know you won't be able to comment because you've no idea how to use YouTube. Good evening, Spencer, and good evening to all of you. I've been seeing the comments flying in from everybody. Good evening to Kelvin O. Good evening to Nick Coleman, Batch Guitars, John Ansell, Thurston Howell III, Greggy Boy. I saw Uncle Jonga, Gary Goodchild, Batch Guitars. I've said that already. Tufty. Good evening, everybody. One and all. Welcome to Monday night, 8 p.m. and That Watch Guy London without Spencer once again.
Without That Watch Guy London.
Yeah, I know.
We'll
it's
have
an
to change it or something
chore,
to
isn't it?
Gavin Cayley take over.
I mean, I even have my first line written down here again, like, you know, it's great to have you back 2 weeks on the trot, boss. Couldn't even manage. Guys, if you haven't done so already, tonight is the night you need to subscribe to our channel. Because if you don't have the ability to comment, to leave comments post the show, then you'll be in for a little bit of a shock. You want to be subscribing to our channel, guys, okay?
Especially today, of all days, but you'll find out.
Absolutely.
You'll find out.
And Kaylee, if anybody has any questions for you or I tonight, ask us anything.
Anything.
Then please do pop them in the comments and James will whiz them up on the screen and we'll answer exactly what we can.
Hi.
Ian Nixon, Team BQ -1. That is absolutely correct. John Little, hello, Gavin and Kaylee. Good evening. Right. Let's start with the usual. I'd usually ask Spencer, but what's been going on at BQ in the last 7 days since we saw you last?
You know, much of the same, really. You know, buying, selling.
No, Kaylee, you can't come out with those lines all the time.
But I'm the boss.
No, it's boring. That's boring. Much of the same. We've been buying and selling.
I had a fight. No, I'm joking.
Did you have a fight? Did you have a tear up?
Yeah, some of the customers lately. No, I'm joking.
Valencia 777 says That Watch Guy abroad. Absolutely right. What's been coming in? What's been going out? Anything new in?
Yes, obviously you saw last week that the Day-Date that Spence was wearing.
Yeah, that was beautiful with the
stunning.
diamonds. Yeah,
that was really nice. That came in. Also had, I think, I'm just trying to think. We've had various bits come in.
Yeah.
Over the last.
But steady.
Yeah.
Steady as she sails.
Yeah, as she sails.
What are you sporting tonight? What are you wearing?
So I am wearing a.
Let's pass it over here. Let's put it onto the camera.
I'll show you. Yeah,
show me. What have you got?
Easier. So this is a Datejust 126234
Oh,
36
now that
mil.
is an interesting looking
Isn't
dial.
it?
Let's pop that in front of the camera. That's a kind of like a purpley.
Yeah, so it's like a purple with a Roman 6 and 9.
In diamonds.
In diamonds, yep.
That's very, very nice, Kaylee.
And obviously everyone remembers my green one that I'm in love with.
Kaylee, I'm going to ask you a question. In all seriousness, why have I not seen this? I love purple.
Honestly, Gav, I'm not sure.
In which drawer is this?
The Datejust drawer.
The Datejust. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, answers on the tin, isn't it? That's really, really pretty. I like that. I'm going to have a look at that after, actually. How much is such a watch? Oh, don't give me that. I don't know how much. You work in a watch business.
I know. No,
how can you not know?
You can't say that. Normally, I'm really good. Normally, I can tell you everything, but I just haven't. I can't this one.
Oh, can we look on the BQ website?
Yeah.
Right, James.
126234.
Have a little look.
No.
126234. I picked out a really little cutie actually today. I've picked out a Cartier. I've picked out a Caliber D, which is in my kind of. I really like that. I thought it was really elegant, really smart. And actually, away from all the Rolexes and everything else, looks really nice on the wrist. I love the round dial, the sub dial, and with the date on the side. And at £4,250...
Christ, that's embarrassing that you know your price
it's
of yours
almost,
and I don't.
Because, Kaylee, I go and do my research. When I pick them out, I take a picture of how much they cost.
James, I think it's that in the left-hand corner at the bottom. No, that's grey. I can't really see.
Can't really see. Is that it, Kaylee? If it is, yeah, it's a terrible picture.
Terrible.
That's awful. Oh, it's dark on our screens. Well, it's 11,500, Kaylee.
Yeah, just scroll down a sec, James, sorry. I'll make sure I've got the same for the subscribers. I just want to see what colour dial it says, because I think that's got to be it. Has to be.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So it's 11,500. Apologies about that, guys.
Okay. We're going to go back to my phone. Guys, what do you think of these? I think that's quite a nice little
I mean, you
wristwatch.
did really like it, Gav, as soon as you saw it in the vault today.
Jacob says that's a classic looking Cartier. And it really is. And I think at £4,250, that, my dear,
It's a good buy.
Could be staying with me. I really quite like that.
Okay, then.
I think it looks quite nice on me.
No, I do actually think it suits you, Gav. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I do too. Spencer, do you think it looks nice on me? Spencer,
Yeah,
you need to work
does this look nice on me?
Spencer, you need to work out how to comment. You need to work out how to open an account and how to subscribe to our channel. And by the way, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please make sure you do so. Because tonight
is the night.
Tonight is the night that we're going to be doing something very special, and you must be subscribed.
Special.
Exactly. Kaylee, I meant to ask you, because you're the font of all knowledge, and you've got a special show coming up next week, haven't you?
I have. It's very, very special
For
show.
those that didn't bother watching last week, who have you got lined up next week as your special guests?
So I have the lovely Ian Nicholson, and I also have Greggy Boy joining me.
You have, and we're going to think of a title, but basically it's Kaylee's Love Island special, because you're coupling up next week.
I'm coupling up with two of my favourite subscribers.
Yes.
And, let's see who wins.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to that.
But remember, guys, we are on an earlier time of 7 o'clock, because it is the Love Island final at 9, and I will be watching it.
Yeah, okay. So 7 o'clock Love Island final. 7 o'clock is that Watch Guy London. And then what time's the final on?
9.
9. So you will have an hour to prepare yourself.
Get snacks.
Get yourself in the mood.
Get ready.
Just talking about Love Island for a second, because I've never watched the show ever. What's actually going on? What's the latest gossip update? If we were doing like a Love Island podcast,
Okay. So.
Yeah.
You've got 2 people were dumped last night.
Yeah.
Well, not two
couples.
Expected. So you had to vote the night before. The people who I want to win is Ekin-Su and Davide. I mean, they are brilliant and TV gold. Tonight is a talent show, so they have to showcase their skills. And, they're just there to find love. Or are they? Are they faking it? Or are they not? That's the question.
I heard in my TV world that they are going to be doing a Love Island for an older generation.
Which is a bit annoying, because let me tell you why. Okay?
They're talking about 40 to 50-year-olds, aren't they?
Which I think is sensational. I think it's great. But I also think, hear me out, they should also do Love Island for people of normal bodies.
Yeah.
I do not think it's fair that they're all size 6s that go on there. I mean, listen, I love the show and I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But there's no diversity in it, which I don't agree with.
Okay. I'm just going to go to a question, actually, because Ice Cold in Alex is asking you, Kaylee, be honest. Kaylee, you're honest, aren't you? Be
Always
honest. Are prices still softening?
I personally would say that they have
leveled out.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
But are prices softening still in certain models? For example, if I said to you a Platinum Daytona, which was, we're going to get onto that a bit later, the hype watches, are the prices of those, have they steadied and stopped? And I wouldn't think you place so many of them a week, but or are you still waiting to find the level where the buyers are?
No, so in my opinion, I think they have leveled out.
Right.
They're not dropping considerable amounts or anything like that. I personally would say that they have settled at the prices that they are now.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So that's our Love Island update. You're backing Davide to win, are you?
And Ekin-Su.
And Ekin-Su. What sort of a name is Ekin-Su? Where's she from?
Turkish.
She's Turkish. Ekin-Su. I never knew that. Okay. Nicola, no one wants to see someone with my fat body on Love Island, even I don't want to see it. Excellent. Andrew Woodward, good evening, Andrew. I hope you are well. The Jubilee on Kaylee looks great. It does. It's a really smart watch. For someone who doesn't like Jubilees, actually, it's the face I like. It's a little stunner.
Yeah, no, it is stunning.
Yeah, Ian Nicholson's showing off his Greek again. Excellent. Now, I just wanted to give you all a swatch update. Okay, everybody's sick of this, I know, but the reason why I'm going to give you a swatch update is because a little later on in the show, I'm going to give you details on this. Okay, this is Mission on Earth, and Well, we'll talk about it a little bit later.
Yep.
But,
just tease them for a minute, Gav.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But if you want to know what Mission on Earth looks like up close and personal, what I did tonight is this is many weeks now and many hours of grafting. This is me having nothing better to do at points in my week than heading into London, standing in line at the stores, queuing up, and I've made it my mission, my MoonSwatch mission, to collect as many as I possibly can. And I think I finally cracked it. And I have just a little 2 to go. So, I don't want everybody to start hating on me because I've put a lot of graft into this. But I'm pretty much getting there.
Yeah, please don't hate on him.
Hold on a second. And I've had a few of those on Instagram booing me off, telling me...
But you're not a flipper, Gav.
No,
so
well,
why
it's
not?
not about being a flipper. I think it's because people can't get them.
Okay. Well, you haven't been able to get them for ages.
Now, what I would say is, due to my tenacity... I've ended up with 2 Mission on Earth. And because I'm not a flipper, and because I love all of you lot, later on in the show, we're going to be telling you exactly how you can win this little baby here. In fact, it's not this one, because this one's mine, and it's unwrapped. But that is a mission to Earth, Mission on Earth. Okay, I don't know if that's in focus, not in focus. It doesn't look like it is at all. There it is. And I'm basically going to be giving that away to one very, very lucky person.
I hope I can win it.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
What I would say is, as an update to everything that's been going on. First of all, I appear to have a lot of, they call themselves personal shoppers. We will call them flippers, mates now. And what I would like to say to you is that on a daily basis now, when I've been going to Covent Garden and to Oxford Street, there is stock every single day coming in. And it's usually a minimum, it feels like, of over 100 pieces. You've got to get your timing right as to when you go. And on any given day, it could be at any given time. But most days it feels like there are drops of these watches, which is why in the last couple of weeks I seem to have picked up a significant amount. Now, you can still only buy one, and I can still only buy one. And that's the bottom line. That's kind of the rules. You may ask how I managed to get 2. It's because in 2 of the shops, I made them very well aware of what I was looking for. And on the next day when I turned up, they just happened to have the same watch in another store. Yeah. And I thought, well, do I not take it and just say no thank you? And I thought that would be a bit silly because somebody must want it. And then I thought about the best way to give it away, which we shall reveal just a little bit later. Yes. And don't worry, it won't be anything too complicated.
What's your favourite one, Gav?
Well, that's a really interesting question because I have to be really honest. You're going to love this when I say my least favourite is that.
Gav?
But the reason why it's my least favourite is because it's a girl-sized strap. And Victoria wears it.
Fine. Okay.
One of my absolute favourites. In fact, they're all kind of my favourite. I love Sun.
Yep.
The one I pretty much wear every day, and I have been for a little while now, because it's closest
to the Omega.
Yeah, I feel like it's closest to the Omega.
Yeah.
And also, I love Saturn as well. And there we go. I mean, they're all absolutely lovely. Oopsie. It's okay. They're only plastic, so they can fall over, Ian Nicholson. Don't you worry. There we go. Guys, which one's your favourite? Which one would you love to have? Do let us know in the comments.
I would like the baby blue.
And by the way, if I like you enough, do hit me up. And if I do, I am there a little, quite often. And I have 2 more to get. Now, interestingly, I'm waiting for Pluto. And I'm waiting for Pluto.
Yeah.
And I'm also waiting for Neptune. Now, Neptune is the one that's the problem.
Oh, so discontinued. No.
Well, Neptune is the one that leaked on people's wrists. And I feel like as a collector of watches and even swatches, the first generation Neptune is going to be the one to have.
Yeah.
Because it's a leaky little boy and it leaks all over your wrist. And the bottom line is that I will have to pay up for that. And they're going for around £1,500. Wow. And I kind of refuse. But if I complete my collection, I may well have to. Just to own that one. Because I think buying the one that doesn't leak probably won't make me feel as satisfied. I just saw something pop up saying, are they still queuing? Are the Supreme Boys still queuing? Yes, they are. And I have to say, amongst this group of people, I've actually found, don't hate on me, some a nice bunch of boys actually who are very respectful and do actually go and queue every day. And yes, they do absolutely, it's their side hustle, but they're not, they're not rude, they're not aggressive, they stand in line and they are there at 6 o'clock every morning
so
in line.
They're there.
It's their hustle. That is what they do. They call themselves personal shoppers. So they're basically going in to get to order for their clients. They're not necessarily eBay people or anything like that, but they do sort of all sorts of other bits and pieces. And of course, there are definitely the more aggressive types who we all kind of steer clear of. And actually, it's been well documented over the last week because of the Bamford drop as well that all got a little bit out of control. Nicola, Pluto, the watch or the dog? It's the watch. Chris Drake says, hi Gav, I'd love the pink one for my granddaughter, no boutique near me. I feel like taking a list because actually I think it's an absolute crime that Swatch do not open this up completely. And if you watch channels like About Effing Time and some of the others, it's being widely kind of reported now that these things will not be going online anytime soon. And equally, I don't think they're going to be opening them up to like a lot of boutiques. Although if you go through Zurich Airport, for example, Zurich Airport happens to stock them in their airport shop. So there are ways, and it's all very interesting. So anyway, that's the state of my little collection. I am absolutely loving them, and as I said, I've got two more to go.
It's so funny though, Gav. I feel like only 3 weeks ago that we spoke, and you're like, I've got none. I have not got one. Not at all.
It was like buses; they all came at once.
And then now, look.
But that just tells you.
I will say you have been there.
Oh, hold on.
Every day.
Thursday and Friday last week, I went up to Covent Garden and to Oxford Street, and I pretty much had clear days, no meetings. And I thought to myself, right, I'll go in, I'll check for any drops, any stocks. And there wasn't. And they're very nice. And they said, listen, we are expecting, come back in a couple of hours. And I pretty much wasted all day. And when I was at one store, they got a drop at another, which I missed. And when I got to the other, there was a drop at another one and I missed it. So it is what it is. Obviously, I've got plenty of time on my hands at the moment because it's summer and it's a mad obsession. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Heavenly Mark says 50% of end up in Ben in the arcade in Hatton Gardens. They get the London bikes and ride down there and sell them for 500. You're absolutely right. I do see all the guys on their little bicycles. Interestingly, some of the comments. Did anybody watch About Effing Time last night? I have to say I'm really enjoying the show. It's really, really good conversation about watches. And it's interesting. Someone was talking about the price point, saying it's made very easy for these younger like kids to do this because at £207 they can bankroll it. If these watches were £5,000 and easily accessible, how many could they actually physically buy? So exactly. The fact that they're so cheap, watches 63. Honestly, don't know why anyone buys those things. It's a game, it's a sport. You've got to like them as well. And as I said, it's not for everybody. If you haven't necessarily collected swatches before, then you probably wouldn't get it. But I've had swatches going back to 1985.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was about 15. So there we go. And actually, Luke Jones, I want to give a shout out to Luke Jones, who's always messaging me and saying hello. But he had a little snippet saying that Swatch will sell the complete collection in its case for £2,775. And Luke, I haven't seen that anywhere online, but I'll be very interested. In fact, Swatch have told me when I've been in there numerous times, they've had multiple bids way in excess of the actual watches themselves just for the case.
Wow. I mean, the case is cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is cool. And that will round it off. In fact, I have taken pictures of the case.
Okay.
This is how stupid I am.
You're going to try and get it made?
Yeah. Because I figure I know someone who can fabricate stuff, and I'm thinking maybe I'll just try and get it made and just to finish it off. Tim Jacks, what's your favourite swatch, Gav? Favourite swatch of all time outside of my MoonSwatches would be my Wake Up New York, which is my Spike Lee collectors from about 1991. But actually out of this lot, I have to say it's hard to choose. I think I like... Well, Journey to the Moon I wear the most, without question. And then I kind of rotate the others depending on what colour my pants are that day. Right. The subject of tonight is hype watches. What happened to hype watches? We probably should have changed it to what happened to Spencer Dryer.
Where is that watch guy London?
Where is Spencer Dryer? Do we actually know where Spencer Dryer is? Speaking of Spencer Dryer, and just before we move on, has anybody noticed, have you noticed the big trend that's going on with name changing?
No.
Well, I noticed last night there was a huge news, but it wasn't huge news in the end, that Bark and Jack are no longer going to be called Bark and Jack. They're changing the channel names. Timeless Watch channel is gone. It's now going to be Oisin O'Malley. Gringa is now Britt Pierce. And I'm just thinking, how shocking would it be to have a channel called Spencer Dryer?
Yeah, no. I don't know if people would subscribe. Maybe we should change it, though, to like, if now they've got rid of theirs.
What do you think?
So why don't we steal
I think we should change our name to Bark and Jack.
Every time someone
types in Bark and Jack.
Hi.
We'll have a little, Spencer the Scarlet Pimpernel. They seek him here. They seek him there. You're absolutely right. So we want to talk about hype watches. It's something we touched on last week, Kaylee, didn't we?
Yep.
And basically, now, we made a little video today.
We did.
And I want to explain why. We made a little video because Kaylee and I are insured to carry watches up to a certain value, which obviously isn't that much because Spencer's not here. And for the purposes of this video and talking about the hype watches, obviously we need to show some expensive watches and we couldn't bring them into the studio. Not all together. We have some other ones here. So we made this for you earlier. So let's start with this. This is the
5968A Patek Philippe Aquanaut with the orange hand.
Very iconic. Very iconic, really, for me, to the hype. The hype that went on when I first started doing That Watch Guy London. And this was a beautiful watch, and I think it was trading roughly around 70,000. So in the height of the height, this watch got to somewhere around
over 200.
Just over 200,000, which was probably just after Spencer actually got one in.
Yeah.
Because I remember ribbing him saying, God, you could have bought it a year earlier for about 100 grand.
Yeah.
You silly fool. But here we are. Here we are sitting with it in July 2022. Yeah. Some 6 months after the whole sort of highs of the highs. And what has this sort of settled back to circa? Where are you with this
about
now?
150.
150. So still well in the money from where it was.
Yeah.
But equally,
it's just come down slightly from obviously.
Well, that's more than slightly.
Yeah, but when you look at it, it's kind of in the middle of last year. This at the height of it this year.
Yeah.
It's like bang in the middle, probably the right price, if I'm honest.
And this one I know it's just come back in.
Yeah.
Keeping with the Patek sort of feel, let's move on to this, okay? Because this one is insane, okay? This model is?
The 5711 with the green dial.
So the 5711 with the green dial, this is, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it looks like a very beautiful but standard watch.
Yeah.
Nothing too exciting, nothing to see here. But the price of this in the highs of the highs got to?
About 700.
Now this is, I could be well off. I'm pretty sure this is like a 30 to 50 grand somewhere watch, like nothing sort of too exciting. This got to 700,000, okay, in sort of, February of this year, maybe March of this year. This is now settled back at circa
500.
So that's still insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Guys, I don't know what you think about this as a watch, or whether you would have the money or the inclination to buy this at 500,000.
But this is discontinued.
Yes, it is discontinued, but I'm saying to buy it in the secondary at 500,000,
right.
even if it is discontinued. And by the way, even if you look at the dial, the green is not really that olivey green compared to our next beautiful baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on now. Okay, the classic. Okay.
The classic.
Tell me about this.
116508, yellow gold Daytona, green dial. My Holy Grail watch.
Your Grail watch. Because it's Molly May's watch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also because I love it so much.
An absolutely stunning and beautiful piece. In fact, good Gav had it upside down. That's good, isn't it? Okay. Because I wasn't concentrating, I'm left-handed and a fool. But looking at this watch, a beautiful piece, still probably semi-obtainable compared to the Pateks, which are still unobtainable even via an AD.
Yeah.
If you are a collector of watches and you have a good history probably with Rolex, you've got half a chance at a stretch of grabbing one of these. A stunning, stunning piece, beautiful in every single way. And at the height of the height of the height, this hype watch got to
120.
120. And this was synonymous with the hype, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's mental.
I mean, completely.
Yeah.
And in July of 2022, we're settled back to?
About 90.
About 90. So we're sub 100 again. I don't know what the list is on this, to be quite honest with you.
It's like 30... Please don't hold me to it, but I think it's like 38, 36.
36, 38, wow. So, I mean, it's still a great...
still double.
Yeah, still a great return on your watch purchase, not necessarily your investment. But it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, I love that. Which leads us on to our last one for here, before we flip back to the studio. Okay? A classic.
Classic. Day-Date 228235, rose gold with the olive dial. I mean...
This is everything, isn't it?
Everything.
I have to say, one day.
Yeah.
I actually really fancy this. This, to me, is classy. It's elegant. It's stylish. I don't think it's too flashy. I think with the right clothing, the right outfit, it's going to just set you off. I love the bracelet on this. But equally, it was one of the hype watches, wasn't it? For something that's pretty standard, as in a day-date.
Yeah.
Rose gold. Obtainable. I think these were semi-obtainable to people that would be buyers of Rolex from Rolex. So Kaylee, a stunning piece, and in the height of the hype, this was selling for
around 80.
Around £80,000, and now it's around
60,
just under 60.
Yeah, 60 is a little bit under.
With a list price of,
I believe it's around 32.
£32,000.
Yeah.
I mean, but synonymous. So realistically, apart from that massive pop we had, it settled back sort of pretty much to where it's been over the past year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's higher than what it probably was last year.
Yeah.
But it obviously isn't as high as it was 3 months ago. I just think they've settled down to a price that actually probably is more affordable now, in my opinion.
Now we've handled all the big pieces, let's head back to ourselves in the studio to talk about some other watches. And so some big hitting heavy pieces that we just couldn't bring in. And, I'm watching that back with you, Kaylee, and I'm thinking the olive Patek it's such a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
And still fueled by the fact that you just can't get it.
And it's green.
Yeah.
Honestly, they are the two main factors in it.
Yeah.
It's...
What's your personal favourite? I mean, I don't love the Patek myself.
Out of the four of them.
Yeah. Olive Day-Date.
Yeah, it's the green Daytona. No, it's the green Daytona.
The green Daytona.
Yeah, it is my holy grail watch, and I just love it. I mean, yours is the Day-Date. Even you said that you'd like one in your collection one day.
Yeah, great to see all your comments coming in, guys. I am reading them as they come through. Von Krul, affordable is on a spectrum, and you're absolutely right. It's what is affordable in someone's world. And most of us can only dream of those watches, as you can see by the fact that I'm lined up a load of swatches at 207 quid. But let's talk about another watch that we've got right in front of us here, Kaylee, which is synonymous with every week. Everybody was asking us about a Panda Daytona. How much is a Panda Daytona?
Yeah.
How much is going to go up to next week? And it was just like literally on a weekly basis, it'd be jumping like $5,000, $10,000. It was an absolute nonsense.
Crazy. It was crazy.
An absolute nonsense. But here it is in its. I won't even say it's beauty, but here it is, a Panda Daytona. This got up to where? Like $50,000, $45,000?
45, 50. And I remember, you might not remember, Gav, but one of the questions always used to be, do you think this is going to hit this? Do you think this is going to hit? And it's like, we just didn't know back then. Yeah. And we just kept dodging the question.
Let's talk about the highs and the lows. Where is this settled back to now?
So now this is about 33.
About circa 33 grand. Yeah. And that's across the board on sort of Chrono 24. That's Yeah.
But it's still as in demand, but the price obviously has dropped from 50 down to about 33.
But when I look across the board at some of those bigger pieces, and here's the thing to remember for everybody, is as crazy and as ridiculous as some of them are, they are still compared to
what they used to be a year ago.
List or even 18 months ago.
Exactly.
But if you wound us back a year, they're probably not much difference to where they were a year ago. It's just we had this massive spike in the middle.
Obviously, we had the couple of months where it was just mental.
Obviously, this conversation would be helpful if Spencer was here to talk us through it. Spencer, wherever you are, I hope you're feeling better and you're not sitting in bed with a runny nose and everything else. Yeah. What else did we bring in, Kaylee, in terms of hype pieces? I asked you to bring in something else as well.
Is a hype piece.
Yeah.
But I believe will always be a hype piece.
Okay.
And you'll probably see why.
Okay. So This isn't mine, is it? No. But it is.
Yeah, I just gave it away.
No, but it is. Okay, the Rolex
Hulk.
Which doesn't look so green in that light, but I'll try and give it a little flick and a fleck so you can have a little look.
Definitely is a Hulk.
Now, the reason why I've asked you to bring in a Hulk is because the Hulk, I mean, yes, it's definitely come off the top.
It has, and it used to be 25, 27, like it was high 20s. But still now, it's still about 20 to 24, like that. It hasn't, yes, it's come down, but it's only come down ever so slightly. But because it is discontinued, it is a Hulk, and there isn't another one similar. I mean, obviously you've got your Starbucks, but that's a black dial.
Yeah.
You know, so I think everyone loves a Hulk. I don't think I've met anyone that's ever told me they don't. I think it's an excellent one to have in your collection, in my opinion. Yeah,
it was always the first Rolex I wanted, and actually, as it happens, it was the first Rolex I got, and I absolutely love it. Probably should wear it a little bit more, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I agree, Gav, with you. I think you should.
Unfortunately, all the plastic watches have taken over for the moment. And by the way, Ian, I've been wearing your watch all week as well. Thank you so much. Right, moving on to the next hype.
Okay.
This is another one. Absolutely.
This is one that I think was an absolute madness of a hype. Absolute madness.
Okay. And everybody on this channel, anybody who watches this, is going to absolutely agree that this is probably... There we go. When we talk about... Oh, it is upside down. Yeah. When we talk about an overhyped watch, but yet still... The price is still, in my view, mental.
Yeah, so obviously it is 4,850 list.
Yeah.
It was going for over 40, up to 40, over 40, depending on the year, which obviously everyone was like, what is happening? And then it got discontinued in the 41 mil.
Yeah.
So the prices went absolutely crazy anyway.
Well, what happens is, what I've noticed is the prices are led by what goes on Chrono 24.
Yeah.
And whether they trade there or they don't trade there, whatever they're listed at, seems to be like that's the benchmark. It's almost like you've got a market, and then there's the market where they actually trade.
Yep, and also I also find if you are like a dealer in the UK and you get a watch and there's none on Chrono 24 in the UK, and then you put it on, you are setting that benchmark.
Yeah.
So then people will either, do you know what I mean? Then that's when everyone either starts to go under or over, and then that's how that kind of works. But this now is still trading about 25 to 27, so it's still high. It's still high compared to...
That is literally
compared to what
mad.
list is. Do you know what I mean? It's no... Yes, it may have come down, but it's still a £4,850 watch.
Yeah.
That's going for 25, 27.
Bradders says, got this at list early when it was released from Harrods Rolex. I think £4,300 I paid. I hope you've still got it. Keith39, absolutely brilliant comment. My watches haven't lost anything because I ain't selling. And that's exactly right.
That is, do you know what? That is an excellent, an excellent comment. No, exactly. And they haven't.
There's a couple of comments that keep coming through. Mrs. wouldn't like it, not for me. No, the Tiffany says the mad watch collector. I hope you're well, Russell. A couple of people asking, where's the Pepsi at? And the Pepsi's taken the biggest fall. Would that be correct? Well, let's talk about it.
Let's say out of the GMTs.
Out of the GMTs.
Out of the GMTs, yes.
Where did a Pepsi get to in the height of the height of the height?
I think they're wrong. Sorry, I actually think a root beer has. I think a root beer was like 28, right? Yeah. It's now 19-ish, 19, 20. A Pepsi was about 25. It's now 20.
Yeah.
So I personally wouldn't say that the Pepsi's the one that's taken the most hit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would say a root beer has.
Yeah.
But still not a hit. It's just come down. Do you know what I mean? It's just come down slightly.
Sure. Von Krall says, I mostly go for safe colour dials that don't need special attire to go with them. I think collectors go for different coloured dials, perhaps. And if your collection is a little bit vast and you want to sort of chop things up and change things about.
Obviously, the Tiffany set, as we can tell by this, is for collectors. That is amazing. And obviously now they've discontinued 3 of them on a 41.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you've just got it. If you've got the collection, I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Tim Jack saying Batmans are at 15k now.
About 17, 16 and a half, 17.
Well, hold on a second. So there's a bid offer spread anyway, isn't there? What you'd buy them at and what you'd sell them at.
Yeah, so is that what they say?
Well, I mean, it doesn't say, but what I'm saying is that's
what I'm selling them at, is about 17-ish.
4CD says Spencer stock must have lost a fortune. I mean, it's like anything. I mean, if you trade in any business and prices go down, then whatever you're in at, you either buy well and trade out of them. I mean, that's the risk of doing business, isn't it?
Yeah, that's life.
The Mad Watch Collector, someone somewhere in the world pays silly money for these watches and then becomes the going price. Has someone here in the chat paid over 20 grand for this Tiffany? They probably don't watch our channel, Russell, to be fair. They probably watch better channels than this. And for sure, I don't know anybody who's paid. I mean, I know you would know clients that have paid over 20 grand for Tiffany.
Yeah.
What's the highest price you reckon you sold a Tiffany at?
32.
32. And that was in the height of the height.
Yeah,
so even when things were up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, what's the highest price you've paid for a Tiffany? How about that?
Maybe
25 before discontinuation.
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
25-ish.
I think 25 before discontinuation. Had it for a few months and then they popped up and then it nipped out the door. BQ stock must turn over so quickly that the loss can't have been so bad. Well, it's like anything, I guess, isn't it? If you have a watch that you've priced in and bought and it dips, you're just going to, your next watch you're going to buy cheaper and try and average yourself out. And
exactly.
But you turn over a lot of watches. I mean, that's the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah, and if there's watches that do you know what I mean? Like it's not a big, you have to just get on with it. You can't dwell on things. You can't look at things like that, and your business won't survive if you dwell on bits like that.
Absolutely.
You just have to carry on.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that's it. We've talked about this before, and of course, Spencer, if you were here, we talk about it now with you. But having been established for a number of years, you see cycles.
I mean, listen, exactly. If Spencer was here, it'd be completely different because he's been a businessman for years, and obviously this company's been running for years as well. So he's been through this multiple times. So he knows what he's doing, and he's good at what he does. So.
The other thing I think about BQ watches, and by the way, this is not an advert. I don't want this to sound like an advert, but Spencer is a friend of mine. He's very smart. He's been around for a very long time. It was only really in the last couple of years, probably in the last 3 years, that Spencer went to retail.
Yep.
Spencer's business was never about direct to consumer. It was all about trade. The trade channels have always been there. It's another vertical in the business. So, it's about having a rounded business and not, it's different for the backpack flippers who walk around on a day, say they must have been absolutely crushed because...
Well, they would be because
their money's all in the 5 watches they're walking around with.
And they probably bought it at the height of it and they may still have them. And that's, like we said, that's business. But if you're not a legitimate business, you're going to find that hard to carry on.
Yeah. Yeah. Kid Mambo says, let's not forget we're in the worst 2 months for dealers. September will bring back the hype. Do you know what? I'm not so sure that the hype jumps back in this stuff. But
also I'd say watches are still people still hype over watches.
Yes, they do.
The prices just aren't as high as they were. There's still a hype. People still can't get them. It's not that you can now walk into Rolex and go and get your watch or Patek or AP.
Yeah.
They are still wanted and they are still needed because you still can't go into these shops and go and get them.
No,
There'll
100%.
always be a hype.
So I saw some comments earlier saying that the crash has only just begun. But the bottom line is until there's an oversupply in the market, and a massive oversupply is the only time.
Until everyone can walk in, I can walk in, you can walk in, everyone can walk in and get one.
And by the way, if we rewind the clock even to 18 months ago on this show, and every few months Spencer's always reminded us, hasn't he, that he used to sell these things at a discount.
Exactly.
He used to sell gold Daytonas. This is nothing new.
No.
And the fact that they just happen to be overlist now is just a change in the cycle.
Yeah.
And if they went back to discounts because there was an oversupply, well, that's kind of where we are in a...
And again, that's what you learn to do as a business.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. All very, very interesting. Thoughts on the FP Journe, Gav, says Giza. I'm going to be really honest with you and say I don't really have too much exposure to them. I only really see Spencer stuff. I have seen them online and think they're incredible pieces, but I don't get to hold it up close. And that's the one thing I love when I come into the vault and see something different, something new. It's always quite funny, to sort of... is nice. It's a nice feeling to see something a little bit different. Funnily enough, even down to, you know, a £4,250 Cartier that I hadn't seen in the vault. Think it looks really nice. Actually looks a little bit, you know, smart to me. I haven't had a Cartier for years. Probably over in the mid-90s. I think I had a
really suits you
tank
though,
francais. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. FP Journe. Well, funnily enough, absolutely. James is just saying from the control room that the FP Journe has a sort of similar watch face to it's a nice sort of round thing. Yeah. Keith's 39. Anybody panicking over price shops really can't afford this hobby. And I think you're right, actually, with those comments. You know, I think I like to feel that on this show particularly, when everybody's got carried away with the prices, I feel just sat there and said, come on. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. And by the way, this is about the enjoyment of the watches and everything else. Yeah. So when someone tells me, like I was talking to somebody the other day about this little baby, and I said, oh, I can't believe it. I managed to get like 2 of the same watch. And they said, well, that's great. You'll stick it on eBay and you'll get your money back and you'll pay for one and pay for the other. And, you know, maybe I'm just fortunate that I don't need to flip something for a few £100. But I thought to myself, how nice to be able to give this away to someone.
No, exactly.
How nice to be able to make someone not have to queue to get something that's quite difficult to get, that's going to cost me £207 that I'll be happy to give away to somebody, which is lovely. And that's exactly what we're going to do very, very shortly. Before we do that, Kaylee, I'd just like to give a shout out to anybody that watches this show that would love to come and guest host with us. Now, we've had Greggy, we've had Ian Nicholson, we've had Russell. Russell's come on, we've had Usheen on, we've had Paul many times. I've got a guest host lined up now, a very special guest host coming on the 12th of September. He got booked in the diary today. Guys, if you'd like to come and share your watch stories with us, I would love for you to come and have lunch with us, come to the Watch Vault, have a sort of an afternoon at BQ with Kaylee, myself and Spencer. Probably not so much as Spencer because he seems to be doing a disappearing app these days.
He's a magician. Really.
And it would be great to have one of you come on and share your stories. Now, as you can see from anybody who's been on our show before, this is not about all of these unbelievable watches. No. This is about watches across the board. And I think that's one thing maybe that we've matured into over the course of time. Because obviously we started off with Spencer stock. And then obviously Gavin puts his hand up and says, well, I don't mind a few swatches and a few G-Shocks and a few other bits and pieces. And then since then, you know, Greggy and Ian and a few of the other boys and Russell in particular has brought on some amazing watches. And I think that's great that we can, you know, cover the diversity across the range of people's love of watches.
Yes, 100%.
Ian Nicholson says, get Jonga or Rolly on. I would absolutely say that would be an amazing thing. Let's see if we can get those guys down. Nick Coleman, you'd be ace, mate. Right. Today, I popped in and I saw another little beautiful watch.
I was going to say, there's a bit of a theme today.
There's a little bit of a theme, guys. So whilst Kaylee and I get prepared for competition time, take a little look at this.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Look who I'm back with.
Oh yes, back for another bit more punishment.
Yeah. No, you've done really well. You've done really well at them.
Yeah. Listen, I'm no replacement for Janilda. Please hurry back, Janilda. We miss you. We miss you. Baby or no baby.
Yeah, bring the baby with. We can do unboxings with the baby.
Now, I see a beautiful, not often, red box in front of me. What have you chosen for us today, Kaylee?
So I knew you had already kind of seen this, and I was like, I knew that your eye just kind of kept catching it. So I was like, do you know what? Let's unbox it and show the viewers. Because I think this is a lovely, lovely watch, in my opinion.
Okay, I think I know what it is then.
Yeah? Okay. So should we show them?
So red is Cartier.
Cartier.
Which is a beautiful brand.
Yeah, and I love this box, by the way. I think it's stunning.
Very traditional, isn't it? I mean, a bit like Rolex and their green boxes, which date back for as long as I've known Cartier. They've always been this sort of red. with the gold gilded stuff always. On the top. Yeah.
So they just obviously revamp them.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Okay.
Okay, so this.
Yes.
Is. So this is a lovely Cartier Santos 100 yellow gold.
Beautiful. I did see that in the drawer.
I think this is.
Let's pop that over there.
Stunning. Sorry, but I don't know what it is as well about the green strap. I think it's a love or hate it with the green strap. Me personally, I quite like it.
Well, is it supposed to be crocodile?
Yeah, so it's a crocodile leather, like a crocodile strap.
Okay.
Yellow gold with the lovely what's it called when it's like the set when very Cartier.
Very Cartier.
Yeah, so like with the white Roman numerals, like that's what I would know about
Has
Cartier.
the silhouette of the Cartier.
Yeah.
Now let's have a little look. Let's see if we can take this off. Now it's kind of all sealed up, isn't it? But there we go. It's actually I saw it in the drawer and thought actually it's a Santos 100.
Yeah.
Solid gold, 18 carat.
18 carat.
Absolutely beautiful piece. And actually, I know green is the flavour of the past couple of years.
Yeah.
But actually, it's a very subtle sort of lime green, which does sort of set up really, really nicely. And it'll probably be a bit Marmite to some people.
That's what I mean. I think it's very much love or hate it. And obviously, I think the green, like I said, love or hate. But I think it's very summery, very classy. And actually, it's not all
very
yellow
classic.
gold. Very classic.
Very classic.
Exactly.
It's not all yellow gold.
Nope. So obviously you've got the yellow gold clasp and the yellow gold obviously case, and then obviously you've got the green crocodile like strap type thing with the white. And I think the white with the gold is stunning in my opinion. The white and black, like white dial with the black Roman numerals. I think it really is a lovely piece, and obviously.
Now, not all watches you sell are necessarily fortunes and tens of thousands. Where does this one sit in terms of pricing, Kaylee?
So this is 10,950.
Okay, so it just creeps above the sort of 10,000 level.
Yeah.
And that's obviously purely because it's yellow gold.
Yellow gold, exactly, 18 carat yellow gold.
Now I can't undo this because it's all wrapped up, isn't it?
Yeah, so
it's just
we've put the protective film on it.
Right, okay, to make sure that it stays nice.
Stays in the condition that it is, because it is in immaculate condition.
It is, isn't it? What year is this?
So this has no papers, so I can't tell you the year.
Right.
Obviously it has box, but no papers, unfortunately.
Okay. And is that necessarily important for Cartier? I mean, for resale? I mean, we always talk about box and papers and where you can, you want them, but you've clearly bought this in.
Without any.
Yeah, without any. Only with the box.
Yeah, but we're happy to buy them in with no papers, because Cartiers are great watches, and like you said, this one may be just above the 10,000 mark, but obviously it's 18 karat yellow gold, so it's kind of what you expect. Yeah. But
and as you'd expect, it's quite weighty.
Exactly.
Now, would you say this is a gents or a ladies watch?
I would personally say a gents, in my opinion. I think because it's the Cartier. I mean, I'd probably wear it. I like bigger watches, but I do think it's more of a gents watch than it is a lady. Yeah. But as we know now that ladies are wanting to wear the bigger watches, so maybe it could just be worn by anyone.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Really, really love this. Gorgeous. I could actually see myself wearing this for a day or so in the sunshine. No, it's beautiful. I mean, really, really gorgeous. I also the detail on the hands as well is and that is basically Cartier.
Yeah.
That is synonymous with Cartier.
Exactly.
And it's really, really stunning. Perfect, lovely, amazing. Kaylee, if people want to buy this, what do they have to do?
Just call me. I'm here.
Okay.
Every day.
You sort them out with a nice deal?
Of course, always.
Perfect, lovely. Guys, good to see you, and we'll be back for another unboxing soon.
Bye.
So the thing for me, Kaylee, is I thought that watch was gorgeous.
Stunning.
And I saw a lot of comments coming through that needs to be on a black strap, that needs to be on a blue strap. But I think that for me, the thing that set it off, and forget the green and the hype greens and all the rest of it, I actually thought that if you had all the money in the world and it really didn't matter how many watches you had, that's kind of a nice watch to wear one day for a few days.
Yeah.
And I just thought it looked quite striking in the green.
And you know what? It's different with the green, because everyone would want to change it to a black or a whatever colour, but
or maybe you just have a couple of straps.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think the green is very different, and I think it's very different.
Right, we're nearly getting to competition times, but James, I'm going to ask you, James in the control room. James, how many upvotes do we have currently?
67, Gav.
67. There's 263 people with 67 upvotes, and that is not enough for me to open this competition, I'm afraid. So, guys, if you haven't already, I'm going to give you the time it takes for me to do the questions from Instagram to get upvoting. I need to see, well, at least 100. At least 100.
Jesus.
But for the moment, let's get to the very few questions from Instagram. Okay, Spencer, wherever you are, this is a question for you. Are people buying watches now because they actually like them? What a strange concept. Spencer, can you answer that one? No, Spencer can't answer that. So, Kaylee, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do. Listen, I think majority of people have always bought them because they like them. But then obviously with the prices and everyone was talking about watches and, oh my God, buy this watch now because you're going to get this price and look at the blah, blah. But I do think majority of people have always bought them because they like them. Because I know, Gav, you wouldn't go through all this trouble. And like you said, you're not a flipper. But you wouldn't go through all this trouble to get all of these standing outside
this is
4 days a week. Do you know what I mean?
Time, sweat, tears, energy, and disappointment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I still feel that way, even about Rolexes and APs and Pateks. People that have always liked them will always like them. And if we've got a watch in stock that they like or they've been wanting for ages, regardless of the price, they will want it because it's a watch that they like, if that makes sense.
Ian Nicholson, I was the first to upvote when the thumbnail was put on Do I Win?
We're on 120 now.
Ian, we couldn't have a competition without you winning, could we? No. And Ian, you've got the same chance as everybody else. Fastest fingers first. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go to question number 2. Tommy Jenkins, 99. Will the Panda Whiteface have its day at 30k?
I don't know what that means.
Well, Kaylee, you don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means, have its day.
Have its day at 30k. In other words, will it reach back to 30k? But it is at 30k.
It is at 30k.
It is at 30k. So we're going to kind of put our hands up and say, not really sure about that question. Spencer, if you want to type in the comments and give your answer, if you've worked out how to do that, then we'll keep an eye out for you. Let's have a little look at the next question. Rolly Electrical. What do you prefer? Stainless steel Panda Daytona or a yellow gold lemon Oyster Flex
They
Daytona?
mean yellow.
Oyster Flex Daytona. Kaylee, what about for you? I know what mine is.
Honestly, at the start I looked at this question and it was stainless steel, but actually I've changed my mind. It would be the yellow gold, but it wouldn't be with that face. It would be with a different dial. Okay. In my own opinion.
In your own opinion.
But it would be, that on the Oyster Flex, Gav.
And I would say the Panda, not for me.
No, you've never really...
It doesn't float my boat. I would never be waiting for one, putting my name down for one. It doesn't do it for me.
So yours would be the same as
And
mine?
I would probably go for the... Yeah.
And I like an Oyster Flex watch.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Question number 4. Guys, if you haven't upvoted, last chances. Samuel Danger Thomas. Nothing happened to the hype watches. The economy fell on its arse is what happened. That's a lovely statement. That's a lovely statement. And that's great. Well, did the economy fall on its arse? Yes. Had it fallen on its arse before the watches collapsed? Yes. Had cryptocurrency now collapsed and it's all fallen on its arse? Yes. But who knows the secret to the black magic box? Right. Question number 5. Luke Jones, 1969. When will the flipping stop, or is that slowing down at the moment too?
Still got flippers.
I don't think...
Flippers will always be... There will always be flippers around.
A side hustle is a side hustle.
100%.
And that has been around probably since the age of, I don't know, the ancient Romans, the ancient Greeks.
100%. I mean, listen, not everyone can afford to have every watch they get offered to keep them all. And that's fine. But if they have to go and move it along quickly to be able to put their name down for the next one or get the next one that they want, then there'll always be flippers, I believe, anyway.
And that's not just, obviously, just in, I mean, we talk about it in watches because that's the context of us,
but
you know, whether it's trainers, whether it's clothes. Did you see the Nike Louis Vuitton release last week?
I really wanted them.
So, I mean, I was holding on the website forever, only because obviously I love trainers as well. And actually, even I thought, and this is terrible, did I love them because I love the trainers? Because I definitely think £1,800 for a pair of sneakers is ridiculous. Or was I drawn in by the fact that if I'd paid £1,800 for them, they are worth 7,000 or 8,000 after. And that's probably the truth. If I'm being hand on my heart honest, I probably only would have bought them. And that's not to sell them. That's just to have something. That's maybe like the psychology behind it. I don't buy the MoonSwatches to think I've paid 207 quid, they're worth 500. I don't think about that.
No.
But if I was outlaying 1,800, or it's like buying, I don't know, something that you think has intrinsic value.
That
and
trainer
it's a pair of
collection,
trainers.
but it was because obviously it was a memorial, wasn't it? Like a collab, the last collab.
Yeah.
Between. Obviously, Nike, Louis Vuitton.
Geezer says Nike Travis Scott's this week went a little bit nuts as well. Absolutely.
That's what I mean.
They absolutely did.
Exactly.
Which just reminds me, James, that our friend who came in here, I never got my delivery. Anyway.
The reason the Nikes went mad this week was all botters.
Ah, there you go. The reason why the Nikes went mad this week was all botters.
There was apparently 2.5 million entrants for 600 pairs of shoes.
Oh, 2.5 million entrants were being told for 600 pairs of shoes. And James would know because James is into that marketplace. Yeah, he got a pair.
No, I'm joking.
He's joking. All right, okay.
Don't lie.
Kid Mambo says, do you have regular flippers in at BQ?
Yep.
100%. You wouldn't have the source of new stock otherwise if you didn't have regular flippers. Yeah. Tim Jack says, don't hate the players, hate the game. Well, that's really interesting, actually. In whatever commodity it is, there's always, I think there's always been, whether it's, grey market goods or whatever it is. Yeah.
But like I said earlier, if not everyone can afford to keep every single Rolex they get offered, and that is just a fact of it.
And Greggy Boy's just reminded me we can hear James, by the way, Gav, lol. I forgot you've got a mic in the studio now, haven't you? Yeah, they can all hear you. Oh, great. Thanks for jumping in, James.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, right. So how are we up to with our upvotes?
We're on 130.
130. That's not
good.
Bad. That means that
it's still less than half the people.
Yeah, still less than half. Well, they can't be subscribers, can they?
They have to be in order to comment. So maybe they could subscribe.
Yeah. So the other half of our viewers watching this evening, you may just want to subscribe. Well, probably in about 5 minutes' time. Let's have a look at this. I've got a surprise for you.
A surprise for me?
No, it's actually a surprise for everybody. It's a surprise for you.
Okay, tell me.
You surprised?
I don't know what it is.
Okay. You know my mad hunt. You know my mad obsession. Yeah. You know my mad obsession as well. So as you know, I've been stalking everybody at Swatch for the MoonSwatches.
Yeah.
And last week I managed to get my first double.
Oh. Okay.
I managed to pick up. In fact, I didn't know whether to say no, believe it or not, because
Gav?
I'm not a reseller. I'm not a flipper.
No.
I buy them because I love them, and just I happened to be one of the last watches I needed to collect was Earth, and I picked one up, and then later on that day I got a call to say that Earth had come in at another store, and the watches had come in, not Earth, they'd come in another store. And when I got down there, there was an Earth basically waiting for me, as it were, with my name on it, and I thought to myself, I shouldn't say no because lots of people want to queue up and get these things.
Yeah, of course, 100.
And our subscribers and our viewers have all been asking me,
how are you getting on?
How am I getting on?
Yeah.
And I have to say, somebody has had a moan at me, saying to me, how come I've got so many? But Kaylee, I have stood in that queue.
Yeah, no, you have had dedication upon dedication.
Days on end.
Yeah, sunny, raining,
now,
you're
Kaylee,
there.
what if I said to you, we should give this away?
Can I be involved in the giveaway? Can I win it? That's my question to you.
Well, I'd like to say you can, because why shouldn't you be able to? Because I know you are desperate. You're desperate for a MoonSwatch, aren't you?
I'd like the pink one, but beggars can't be choosers, guys.
But what I thought we'd do is I thought we would give this away to one lucky winner.
Okay,
now,
let's unbox it, guys.
Let's have a little look at this this beautiful. Now, I think they're beautiful. Other people think obviously they're a load of rubbish. But equally, would you like to own one? In fact, would you like me to gift you one? Ooh. Let's just take that off. Okay, so if we take this apart, it's all exactly as it was. In fact, I've never opened it. I'll open it for the first time now. Let's pull it out. The bio-ceramic. So here we have a mission to Earth. I think it's one of the, in fact I love them all to be fair, but I actually think it's one of the nicer colour schemes because it's probably the blue and the green really does set it off for me. Now, as you know, I've been collecting these and this was my second to last I needed to collect. And here I ended up with two. All the stickers and everything are still on it. How should we let people win this watch? I've been thinking about this, Kaylee, long and hard.
Okay.
I've come up with something.
Okay, tell me.
You know how much I love a really complicated competition?
Jesus, we know, yeah.
I'm not going to do that this time.
Okay.
What I'm going to do to keep this really simple is I am going to say to all of you, all you need to do after today's live show, or if you're watching it on playback, is leave us a comment on why you love watching That Watch Guy London. It's as simple as that. We're going to pick a winner from the comments that are left after the show, as to why you think you deserve to win a mission on Earth and why you enjoy watching That Watch Guy London. Now, I'm going to leave this with you, and on next week's live show, you can give away my watch.
Oh yeah, because you're not here.
No, I'm supposed to be away. So I'm going to let you give away my watch next week's show, and all you guys have to do is leave a comment below after the show telling us why you love That Watch Guy London. As simple as that.
Just that simple.
That's it.
May the best comment win.
Best comment win. Leave your stuff below, and good luck to your mission on Earth.
Good luck.
So there you have it. Kaylee, I'm going to hand this over to you. That is to be given away on next week's show. Let's do
no one's getting it. I've got it.
Yeah, Kaylee, by the way, yeah, you really can't win it. But I promise you, if I come across a pink one, you'll be first in line. Here is, well, this is my watch, actually. And
but this is the one they're winning, right?
No, that's my one. The one that's winning is brand new in there.
That one that you're showing them is this.
Yeah, it's the same watch. Yeah, it's the mission on Earth. And guys, it's really, really simple. You know I love a complicated competition, but this is from me. This is my giveaway. Just simply after the show, I would love you to leave in the comments why you enjoy watching our show. If you don't, you can also say why you don't enjoy watching it. Why you enjoy watching the show and why you think you deserve to win this MoonSwatch. And it's as simple as that. And we are just going to pick a winner. Whoever tickles our fancy, writes something nice, we are happy to give this watch away. I'm happy to give it away. I've done all the queuing for you. So guys, just get writing after the show and enjoy. Now, I don't know what's happening with Spencer.
Yep. So next week,
maybe we should call him after the show, find out what happened.
Yep. So you are now looking at the new That Watch Guy London. Me and Gav. No, I'm joking. Spencer will be back at some point.
I hope so.
At some point soon.
I hope so.
Not next week, though, because it's just me, Greggy Boy and Ian. So maybe the week after. We shall see.
Fantastic. Guys, that's it. That's all from us this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. We've thoroughly enjoyed being here. Spencer, it's been great to have you too.
It's been a pleasure.
Who's going to do the... Go on, you can do the honours.
Do you want to rock, paper, scissors it?
Go on then. Rock, paper, scissors.
Shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, it's you. Go on then.
I won, so you have to do it.
No, I won't. I thought the winner gets to do it.
No, the winner doesn't get.
All right.
No,
Thank you very much for joining us. If you haven't done so already, do like, subscribe, and check out our channel. And remember, if you haven't dealt with us yet, it's only a matter of time. See Kaylee next week.
Bye guys.
Now.